All right, welcome back to another episode of the Sauna Sessions, where we give men a chance to talk about what they've been through, where they've been, to really open up about some of the things they've been through and how they got through them, so that men realize that they're not the only ones who are going through things that they've been through or that they're going through right now. You know, especially working with young men is something that I really like to focus on. That being said, the guest on today's episode is Will. He's one of my brothers here in the gym.
What's up, everybody?
Man, he's a hard worker. He always comes in here. He's the second loudest now. So I always know when he's in here. Man, so if you could introduce yourself to the people, man, what's your name?
What's up, everybody, man? I'm Willie Kane, the fourth of my generation.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
That's cool. That's cool.
Man, originally from Washington State, but everything I know is Texas, man. I've been here since I was 2 months old, and I never went back. You know, I visit family, but Texas is home.
Yeah. I feel you. I moved here when I was 6 months from Florida.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, people are like, so where are you from? I was like, well,
yeah.
I mean, I was born in Florida.
Right, yeah.
But technically, I'm Texan,
Yeah,
all right? We don't count that. Yeah, so I feel you, man. It's the same way.
Yeah.
Man, and so you came over here, you moved down with family?
Yeah, so,
well, I mean, obviously.
yeah.
That's the whole...
No, so...
you started off young.
Yeah, so my dad, actually, man, he was born in the ministry, in the church, man. Like, my dad's a pastor.
Very cool.
And God told him that he wanted him to build a church in Texas. So my dad, without hesitation, picked up and went to Texas with my mom. 12 months later, had my sister. 18 months later after that, had my brother. So we just never left.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Right,
So
cool,
I'm the oldest of three.
Very nice.
Yeah, man.
Man, well, let's put a pin in that one a little bit. So what do you do for work, man? You know, I mean, other than killing it in the gym, what else you do?
So 2024 has been very interesting for sure this year, man. So in March, I left a job that I was with for 7 years. Yeah, man, I'm loyal to a company, brother.
Yeah.
You know, you take care of me, I'll do the job right. You're very dependable. Awesome. But I was unhappy, man, and you know, I told myself that location would have been the last location for me, and I left. You know, so I'm still looking for jobs. I'm thinking about going back to school going to school for cutting hair, man.
Really?
So if you need a barber, man, I got you.
I bet, man. Yeah. So where you planning on going, man? Actually, I know a barber. He has a barber school.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. That's cool. You know, you look at the trade. What were you doing beforehand?
So I was just doing management at Racetrack. I was co-manager for 7 years.
Okay.
Before that, I was just a regular shift manager at Raising Cane's for 8 years.
Okay.
So I'm only 30, so I've only had 2 jobs within the 15 years of working.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, I'm loyal. You know, if I'm with the company, I'm working with the company. So yeah.
Man, that's great, man. Two jobs in a 15-year span, man, is impressive. I think I had 15 jobs in a 2-year span.
Yeah. But that's experience. You know, that's
it was something, is what it was.
Yeah. But Jeff, you do construction though, right?
Yeah, now.
Right.
Now I'm in construction. Now I'm actually with a company who I like. I tried to run my own company for about 10 years. And I realized how much I didn't know about running a company. So I ran that into the ground.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I learned a lot from it. And I realized when you start working and hanging around people, man, who are actually doing something, you realize how much you were never really doing anything.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. You know, people always talk, you know, you see these people who do these amazing things. They have so much responsibility. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go do this and do this and do this and do this. And you're like, that's insane. How are you doing all that? And you realize they didn't wake up one day and they're like, I'm going to go add 30 things to my list of things to do for my life. It's, okay, I'm doing this. All right, this one I can put in autopilot. Let me do this. All right, this one I can put, and you keep on stacking and adding until like sooner or later you look back and you're like, holy crap. And that's how you become a very responsible member of society.
Yeah.
And it's something that I
So is it taking,
talk about.
is it taking one day at a time?
100%.
Yeah.
Everything's compound. Savings, retirement, compound. Life skills, compound. friendships compound.
Yeah.
There is nothing you can get in life that is a microwave variety that will be nutritious to who you are.
I like that microwave. Yeah, can't
Yeah.
get it quick, can't get it now.
No,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
No, man.
yeah.
You try to rush a relationship, you end up in a situation.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You try to rush a job, you miss the little intricate details of where you're supposed to be. You know, you rush a friendship, you realize that, man, this dude's doing some stuff on the side I'm really not comfortable
Yeah,
with.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, and
Yes,
so
sir.
so what made you want to quit that job? What made you want to make a switch?
I was just unhappy. You know, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
For sure.
You know, so I'm big on constructive criticism. If you could tell me what I can do to improve and to grow as a person and within the company, by all means, tell me about myself.
Yeah.
You know, so but if you're just telling me why can't you get your shit together, or what, like, why is it every time that I come in, you know, nothing's smooth, or I'm like, well, boss, you know, are you giving me the tools to do that? You know, you're expecting high expectations and high quality of me just because I'm getting paid a certain amount. And I respect that. I get that.
Right.
But if I need help me.
Right.
You know,
right.
That's all I ask.
100%.
You know, but they were just expecting a lot from little of what I had.
I got you.
And so I was just like, yeah, you know, it's time to go.
I got you. Yeah, managed expectations.
Yeah.
Probably the
Yeah.
best way to put it.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I'm working on personally, man. So I get it. You know, whenever you work with people, you got to realize that not everyone's going to look at it the same way you do.
Yeah.
And if you're in management or any type of leadership position, you got to realize that every person is a different conversation.
Yeah.
You know, every client is a different conversation.
Exactly.
And you can't keep on, you know, you might have a template, but you got to alter it just a little bit whenever you talk and working with people. But now you can get whatever you need to, brother. If you don't mind being in here. But yeah, and so, you know, and sometimes that's how a lot of leadership chases away good potential.
Mm-hmm. So,
you know, well, let's do this, man. Let's take it to the sauna, man.
Cool.
And get a little bit deeper in conversation.
Let's get it. I just want to applaud you, man, for what you're doing.
Yeah,
this is different. You know, people nowadays on social media think they could just get a stand and, you know, talk about whatever, which is cool, you know, their opinions and whatnot. But the fact that you want to talk about what's going on in younger men's life, and, you know, the fact that you feel like we've all been through there, man, I applaud you, bro. That's badass.
I appreciate it.
The fact that you really care about it, that's dope.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely, man. Yeah, it's a passion project.
Keep that up, man, for real.
Absolutely, man. I will. I appreciate you for joining in, man. A lot of people
don't know. I met this man doing the podcast in here, and I walked in while he was walking. I was like, damn, I fucked up his podcast.
Yeah, but it's everybody's gym, man, and so you know, I never get upset for anyone for coming in here because we're all in here, man. And hey, you know, maybe eventually they'll end up being on a show later on.
Yeah, yeah, you're next. You're next.
Man, okay, cool. So you moved down here. Mm-hmm. You were 2 months old. You and your family moved down here. You were a Rolling Stone from a young age.
Yes, sir.
Now you say your dad was called down here to be a pastor.
Yeah.
Is he still leading the church out here?
So no, you know, how can I say this? I mean, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind. It's his story, you know. He was running the church for years, and he started noticing people that he used to work with or he used to associate with. You know, he was like, "Hey man, that's a nice car. How you getting? You know, what you doing for work?" And they would, you know, chirp in his ear. You know, I was like, "Hey man, you know, if you could just do this real fast, you know, quick little buck, I could, you know, toss that to you." So he started walking out of, you know, he what's the word?
He started getting out of alignment.
Right. That exactly. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing as a pastor and following you know, Jesus Christ. So he was you know, selling drugs, and as he was still pastoring, one day he realized on a Sunday morning getting ready for church, yo, what am I doing? Like I'm such a hypocrite for preaching to these people, telling them the gospel, telling them what to do, what not to do, and I'm over here Saturday night hanging out with the boys at the clubs doing what I'm not supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. So he was doing that for years, and one day he just got caught up, went to prison. He could have done 6 years, and God blessed him with only 2.
Yeah.
You know, so he got out of prison and went straight back to the church. You know, unfortunately, we never reclaimed our church. He never,
sure.
we never got back to that place. But he never left the church life. You know, he's always been playing piano, preaching, pastoring. You know, so right now he's actually in Washington. He moved back about 5 years ago, back home.
Okay.
And yeah, he's a minister pastor. He prays, he plays the piano, sings fellowship. But every time he gets a chance to preach, I try my best to go on Facebook Live and just try to see him. And
yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. That's good. That's good, man. That kind of ties into something, I've been working on myself is, it really matters what your circle is around you.
Yeah.
Because you end up having individuals who are chirping your ear, like you said, and say things in your ear. And if you don't have the right kind of guidance around there, man, you unfortunately sometimes then end up falling into that lowest link in what they're doing. And so I'm guessing that was probably a while ago that happened.
Oh yeah, that was probably 05.
05?
Yeah.
So let's see, that was 19 years ago.
Yeah.
You're 30.
Yeah.
You were probably 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
11, 12, yeah.
So how did that affect you, man? Like, so you're 11, you're 12, you're kind of going through this thing. You end up having this little situation, man.
Right.
Probably kind of rocks.
Well, I just want to give praise to my mom. The fact that she, 3 kids from 12, 11, 10, she was the mom and dad.
Yeah.
When he wasn't there, so as how did it affect me? It thinking about it now, because I nobody really asked me that question, brother. Yeah. So I kind of stumped me. How did it affect me? At that time I didn't really look at it like that, because I know my mom, she'd always have our back, man.
Yeah.
Now, were there times where she didn't cook a gourmet meal for dinner? No, but we knew we had food at the house. So regardless if it was, chicken or steak or whatever, we knew that we were getting fed. Now, I mean, brother, I know people now who had their parents and are into drugs or in prison.
Yeah.
So no longer here.
Right.
So
yeah,
it could have been worse.
Right.
Could have been a lot worse.
It could have.
So do I wish my dad was there at a time where I felt like I needed my father figure? Growing into a young adult, growing into a young man, yes, of course, but I hold no ill will towards him.
Okay.
The fact that
that's good.
Yeah, man. I think of and I know and I see more good of the bad.
Yeah.
So was he not there? Yeah, he wasn't. Was he doing things that he wasn't supposed to do? Yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, he's my dad. At the end of the day, I know that he loved us and he did the best he could for us.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah.
Yeah, man, that's strong, man. It's powerful, man. And a lot of times we don't realize, man, that we kind of idolize our parents, but a lot of times they're just doing the best they can.
Life's too short to hold grudges, anyways, man. I can't hold a grudge for something that you didn't do or could have done 10 years ago.
Right. Right.
So
right. It keeps you in the past.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people talk about not moving able to move past things, and that's it's because you're staying in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Have a 2024 body, man, but
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
2024 mind or 2004 mind. Okay, man. So now you're kind of you're growing up. It's just your mom, man. I'm guessing that's you're in middle school,
right?
So what happened, man? You start growing up. You start going to high school, man. What happened with your circle?
So
did you start acting out?
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, so my dad came out of prison and he was staying with my grandmother at the time, trying to get back on his feet, and I just wanted to be close to my dad.
Yeah.
I want. So I eventually, me and my brother, which are only 2 years apart, we moved in with my dad and my grandmother, and my sister was staying with my mom. So growing up, man, 2005, 6, you know, we didn't have technology like we do now.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know.
Whole new world.
Y'all don't know. But no, man, we were outside, and when I meant outside, we were doing things outside. We would, you know, be in the swimming pool for 2-3 hours. We would go play football at the junior high before we knew, you know, 7th grade football pads. We were outside, you know. Now, were we kids? Yes. You know, we were doing things that we probably wasn't supposed to be doing. Yes, but nothing that got us legally in trouble. You know, we were just being kids. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
The craziest story as a kid I could think of, brother, was a good grow up. So he's not a friend now, but an old friend that I used to grow up with, Michael Hernandez. We went. We started climbing one summer. We started climbing just schools, brother.
Really?
Yeah, so we started like the roof, the top roof. We went to 3 elementary schools. We went to a junior high that eventually we went to. Didn't get in trouble, man. So it was kind
of fun.
It was fun. We just But yeah, man.
The worst things you could have been out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You feel like after the full climate school, maybe not.
Yeah.
It's all jokes. No, man. Yeah, I get that. You know, it's kind of, you know, trying to find something fun to do, act out, man. Trying to do something that's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
But, no, man. That's that's an interesting way to spend your day, man. I can't say that I haven't done anything like that, man. Whenever I've been in some areas of my life.
Yeah.
Man, it's so, you know, you're climbing schools. You know, I mean, you play any sports. You know, obviously,
yeah. So
obviously, you know, playing
the
Spider-Man.
school, the school that I climbed on eventually, it was junior high, Hearst Junior High. Eventually, played there. I don't know if I was football was a passion of mine. So during Pee Wee, you know, you know, you want to be the quarterback, the running back. You want to catch the ball. You know, I was on the line.
Yeah.
Was I a chubby kid at the time? Yeah, we were all chubby kids, just eating and stuff like that. So I was a little chubby kid. 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. I told myself I didn't know the positions. All I knew is I want to catch the ball and I want to make a touchdown.
Okay.
So I asked Coach, what position catches the ball? Oh, you're a receiver. That's what I am. I'm a receiver. Coach, what do you know? What position tackles the ball? Oh, you're a linebacker. All right, I'm a linebacker. So from 7th through 9th, I felt like football was my passion. Really, I just wanted to hit somebody, bro. Like, you know, you tell me I can hit you and I can't get in trouble, sign me up.
For sure.
Yeah. So middle school, liked football. My sophomore year, I stopped growing.
Yeah.
You know, so this is my height up until, 30. So I stopped growing. I just noticed that, damn, I'm not going to get any play time. You know, I'm a sophomore on my sophomore team. I'm a junior on my JV team. By the time I get varsity, I'll be a senior. But I just wanted to get my Leatherman before my senior year. So my junior year, I was failing math. And luckily, the math teacher was the wrestling coach. And he was like, Kane, you're failing. I'm like, Coach, give me some extra credit. He's like, if you join the team, I got you. I'm like, nah, Coach. That's lame. Back in the day, we used another word. That's lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different. And he was like, nah, man, try it out. So first practice, man, I was like, all right, let's get into it. It was wrestling. I like the fact that as a man or as a younger man, I could put you anywhere that you don't want to be. So I can manhandle you. I can force you. If you're trying to get out, all right, cool. Show me. Right. Show me that you can get out with me putting this pressure on. It went good, man. I went my first tournament. I went all the way. Came in second. I wasn't good enough to go all the way to state.
Yeah.
But I got my Leatherman.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was fun.
That's good, man.
Coach Cooper, shout out.
I got you. That's awesome, man. I wrestled in high school too, man. That was
what weight class?
More my sport of choice. Man, 160.
All right. I was heavyweight, pushing 215.
Ain't no way.
Yeah. Chubby, bro. Like you don't see this. I was chubby.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked, man. I wouldn't imagine that one at all. Okay. No, and you're right, man. It's a great sport if you're really, it's one-on-one. You have a team, but you're not relying on
I can't, I don't depend on nobody for my flaws or what I did wrong. You know, so.
Yeah. It's mano a mano, man. It's a really good way to like judge yourself, man. I gotta say, I loved it when I was in high school.
Mhm.
I went to James Bowie. Shout out to Coach Mudgett. You know, man, so that's good, man. So you joined the team. Did that end up helping you pass math, or
Yeah.
Did you get your Letterman?
Yeah, sure did. My junior year, man, I was like, I want my Letterman before my senior year. You know, all the people who I went to middle school was in the football crowd, so they already got their Letterman and kind of dispersed. You know, they were doing their football things. I was outside hanging with the boys, and eventually went to wrestling and stopped that. So
good,
but it was good, bro. Yeah.
Good, man. Very cool, man. Yeah, I'm glad it's picking up a lot more. You know, ever since MMA came onto the scene, UFC came onto the scene, wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, man, it's picking up, and I think that's phenomenal, especially for young men. I think that if you're a young man, if you're struggling with being able to pay attention to class, if you're struggling with anger issues, you know, you don't have everything in your life going on that you want to. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a phenomenal way to really dedicate yourself to something and have the right kind of people around you, especially when you're really looking for something that has that kind of organization and structure. All right, man. So what happened after high school, man? You got your Letterman. You did high school. You know, did you go to college?
No, brother. I didn't go to college. I graduated high school because the teachers gave a damn about me.
That's awesome.
You know, so if it wasn't for sports, in high school you're a student athlete before just an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, so my junior year I went to LD Bell, got my Letterman, and my senior year I just wanted to get in, get out. Yeah. So I went to transfer to a different school to graduate a little bit faster, and I knew that college probably wasn't for me. It wasn't for me as the lifestyle, the partiness, meeting new people. Yes, for sure. But
for sure. Yeah.
But the responsibility I've set, making sure that, hey, regardless if it's a party on a Saturday, Sunday, you have something to take care of. So are you an adult? Are you a responsible adult? And at that time I knew I wasn't, know.
Okay.
So didn't go to college, jumped into a relationship thinking like, I need to become a family man. At 18, I need to become a family man. And so I was in a relationship for about 5-6 years after high school. 18 plus 6 is what, 24, 25, something like that.
Yep.
And so was with her for 5+6 years, and one day she decided she wasn't happy anymore. At that time, I was in a relationship. We was 4 years in. I'm like, oh, this is the woman of my life. She's going to marry me. She's not going anywhere.
Right.
That's a lie, gentlemen. I don't care what nobody says. The little things matter from the beginning to the end. So it's the little things that matter. If you know that's going to brighten up her day, if you know that she's into something, surprise her with it. If she had a long day at work and she comes home to some flowers, it's the little things. Y'all, promise you that. So we
saying that you figured that was the woman you're going to be with, that was the woman of your dreams. Makes it sound almost like you became a little complacent in your actions.
Yeah.
And what you were doing.
Why do I have to do this if she's here?
Right.
Why do I have to, show her that I appreciate her, love her, if she knows that, because we're here together. We've been doing this for 4 years.
Right.
That's a lie, y'all. So then again, I'm 24, 23 years old. I'm young,
Right. I'll say for 30, man, you have some really good insight, introspection into not just who you are, but your actions and kind of what you've been through.
Yeah.
And so that puts you, I think, leagues ahead of a lot of your peers. Okay, so that happened and a breakup happened.
Yeah, man.
What went on after that?
She went back to her the child of her father, the father of her child, and fucked up part about it is the man was in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it bothered me, man, as a man and as a person. I'm like, wow, it would make sense if you'd move on to something bigger and better. the fact that you had a backslid into something, that you was trying to get out of in the first place when you met me, it hurt me as a man. I'm like, wow, I must be that bad of a man and that bad of a boyfriend to make you go back to something that you didn't want in the beginning.
Right.
Long story short, I ain't trying to put her business out there, but long story short, she was manipulated to become, I guess you can't sugarcoat it, a prostitute. And she was madly in love. She was like, yeah, I'll do whatever I got to do to support us. Long story short, undercover cop busted her, found out that she was a teenager at the time, and they were like, you're way too young to be understanding this. Who are you helping? She put him in jail. Yeah, basically an undercover op, and sentenced to 25 to 30 years in prison. So it'd be different if she left me to go back to him and he's getting out in 2+ years. This man was still in prison, still sitting on time when she made that decision. So it affected me for sure.
I got you.
I got you. For about a year, I'm over here. Well, if I did this, or the big ifs, the if questions, if I did this differently, well, if I did this now, could it happen? Or,
right.
I just had to keep playing through my mind. I'm like, nah, brothers, you're a good man. You helped her raise her daughter for 5+ years, so could you have done things different? Could you apply the pressure and let her know that she is important and show the appreciative? Yes, but it's not like you were out here cheating. It's not like you were out here slinging dick to every fucking female. You wanted to be with her and her daughter. You did that, so.
Yeah.
But after that, man, a whole year, man, I was in a hoe phase, brother. I was in the hoe phase.
For
I
sure.
was fucking and ducking type of shit.
Yeah.
Didn't care about your name. Didn't want to know about your name. We here for a good time, not a long time.
Right.
Are you with it or not? So
yeah. You end up hurt, man. So you gotta go out there and
just no feelings, no care. Yeah, no care. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it, man.
But I was dating. After that, I didn't believe in love. I was like, yeah, we could date. I could have love for you, but to have 10 toes down, madly in love, just
right.
I haven't felt that in a long time. So
for sure, man, that's a rough one to go through.
Yeah.
Especially whenever you're dealing with what could I have done? Not realizing that that there are things that you could have done, but you're also dealing with someone else's own insecurities.
Exactly.
That you really can't
fix.
You can't, you can't change that aspect of them. They're kind of, working through that pathway through themselves. Man, and so, I do applaud you, man, for at least having enough wherewithal to understand where you were in the situation.
Yeah.
And, not stay in the situation and not try to, make it worse. We all backslide, and we all, get into a situation where, maybe this isn't where I want to be.
Yeah.
But
and there's go ahead.
No.
And I was just saying, there's no ill will towards her. I hope that she's doing good. If anything, I think I missed the family aspect, because at the time her daughter was calling me daddy, and, didn't know she would see everybody call everybody daddy. She's like, well, do I have a daddy? Are you my daddy? I'm like, mama, I could be whatever you want me to be. So.
Yeah.
But,
okay. You still talk to her? You still talk to any of them?
No, I say hi and bye. I'll follow her on social media, but I won't reach out. Oh my gosh, let's hang out. Like, no,
I got you. Yeah. Boundaries.
Yeah, if that could have happened 2 years after the breakup, not
for sure
9 years after the breakup. But no, I think my family were close with her, and I think they follow her on social media, and her daughter's growing up into a young, beautiful little girl. So
yeah, man. I understand. I can understand that, man. I can understand the wanting to see both of them do well.
Yeah.
What was it, man? So you were on a war path, man. What was it that got your mind back right, where you're like, maybe this isn't what I want to do?
With what?
With life. Is that? Are you still on a war path?
Not necessarily war path. So at the time, my brother was coming back from Washington, and he was at the gym with my dad, and he was just showing results. And at the time, we liked to horseplay. We would do body shots. We would, box one another, but only body shots, no gloves. And I'm starting noticing that the punches that I think are connecting, that I'm like, oh, I know he felt that one. They're not connecting. I'm like, fuck, am I not strong enough? He's like, nah, da 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 da. I'm like, well, shit, let's get to the gym. Let me, let's put some power behind these punches. And 2021 is when I started the gym. I didn't think nothing of it. Didn't take it seriously. My brother wanted to, I guess, coach me or just trying to show like, bro, there could be results if you take this seriously. I started doing chest and back. I started seeing results, and it's a whole nother game, So
no, you
another
look great,
game,
man.
but
You look great. It's hard to believe you were 215.
yeah, man.
Okay, good, man. Good. And so you've been in the gym since 2021.
Yeah, man.
You're with your brother still? Does he still work out?
Yeah, he works out of our schedules don't align anymore.
Okay.
But he's all the way in Grand Prairie.
For sure.
I'm over here in Fort Worth, Forest Hill. So, we'll try our hardest to see each other at the gym at least once a week. But
okay.
Yeah, I know he's in the lab, and if I know he's in the lab, I gotta be in the lab.
Okay. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, you can't be skipping out on it. Good, man. And so what have you learned in the past 3 years, man? You've been in the gym, you've been working out with your brother, you've been living life, obviously up until, maybe what you say a few months ago, you were working full time, for a job you've been at with, since high school, you sound like, or like right after, so what have you been up to, man? What's been going on in your life? What's been changing? What's the big things that have happened in those 3 years, or has it just been like 3 years of growth?
3 years of growth for sure. This year alone has been something remarkable, brother. I'm expecting.
Nice.
It's my first one.
Nice.
It's my first one, man. A little girl, Willow Renee Kane. I know she's gonna teach me how to become softer. She's gonna teach me how to become patient, and just the unconditional love, brother. That's what I'm just knowing that you have somebody depending on you, regardless. It doesn't matter if you're in a tough situation or if you're high as a kite, like they always will depend on you. And I'm excited for that, bro.
Yeah, man, I am too, man. I think that's fantastic. I think that's awesome.
Mr. Jeff, brother, it's about that time, brother. I can't breathe. I'm sweating out my shirt.
No, you're good, man. Let's get one more question in, man.
Oh yeah.
All right. I always like to finish on with, what, you seem whenever, you had all these life experiences, man, you've been through a lot of different things. And the one thing I will say, man, is that you grew in and you grew introspective as opposed to growing angry and out. And a lot of people don't learn that until they get put into, a cage or a grave. Whether that's a cage they put into themselves with drugs, alcohol, or, just ignoring everything around them, or that's cage getting put into jail, or if that's, just get put in the ground because, you went, both on hard on both those other directions. You seem to really have grown inwards, grown introspective, man. And what would you say, man, what kind of advice would you give somebody, man, that's younger, man, maybe in their 16 to 25, 30, and they're going through some of the same things and they're not sure how to deal with them, man? What kind of advice would you give them?
Stay humble and count your blessings, regardless how high and how small. Brother, there's been times where I see people hit the lottery. There's times where I see people on social media. I know a cat who's doing big on social media. I'm like, bro, that could be me. Instead of being angry and jealous, just count your blessings. Yeah, I might not have that, but my family's healthy. Yeah, I might not have the fancy car, but I'm not in jail. I don't have a record. I have a job. So just be thankful, be grateful. Slow and steady wins the race. Consistency. Just have faith, and I promise you, God will show you what your blessings is, regardless if you didn't even know that was the blessing in the first place. Be patient, stay humble, stay blessed. God bless.
God bless, man. I love it. All right, man. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do the outro.
Can't breathe.
And all right, we are in the cool down section because it has gotten hot. Woo! Man, I like doing it in the sauna. As I was telling him before we got started, that because about 20 minutes in, about 15, 20 minutes in, you stop losing the will to hold anything back. You're like, I'm trying to think and breathe and not pass out at the same time, man. And so
trying to gather your thoughts,
You're on pressure. So you just start spitting stuff out. And, I think it's a good situation and scenario for what I'm trying to do here. Man, I appreciate you opening up, man. I appreciate you walking us through your childhood, man. everything from where you've been to where you've grown up, man. And you know, so what's on the horizon, man? What do you got looking at for the future?
For the future, brother, just being a good dad, bro.
Yeah.
You know, my concerns is recently been like, damn, you know, I gotta remind myself I'm raising a daughter instead of a son.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's easy to be a little bit rough, you know, high expectations on your son because you're trying to raise him to be a gentleman.
For sure.
You're trying to raise him to show that this is the expectations on how to become a good man, you know. So the fact that I'm raising a little girl, yes, I'm gonna be soft, and yes, I'm gonna treasure her and I'm gonna spoil her, but she will know the difference between spoiled and hard work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
mamas, I will give you the moon. I will go rent out a ship from NASA and go to the moon and bring it back. But what did you do to deserve this? Are your grades up? Are your chores up? Are you helping your sister? Are you helping your mom? Are you just being a good person? You know, and you know, yeah, I will give you anything that you want from me.
Man.
Career-wise, you know, brother, right now I just want to pay the bills. You know, 5 years down the line, I'll probably go back to school, get a grant. You know, I understanding a loan from the bank to pay the grant to pay. You know, so I'm understanding that. So, yeah,
Okay.
you know, passion-wise, I think that's what I'm leaning towards too. Uh, a lot. Recently, a lot of people are wanting to work out with me. You know, asking them if I can work out and charge them. I'm not quite there yet. Um, I know if I can, I'm more just comfortable. You know, if I mess up, you know, if the form's not right,
Yeah.
that's on my part. That's something I could fix.
Right.
You know, so, and I would hate to hurt anybody.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but eventually I'll get there. There's this one friend, a good friend of mine who I'm starting to train. We're not going too rough.
Yeah.
My expectations are not high because I'm not expecting her to lift the same weight I am. I'm not expecting you to go to 100 like I do.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to rev the engine. We got to get there. You
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited for that, man.
Good, man. Good, man. That might be a sudden surprise blessing, man. That's, you know, once you start looking to think towards your aligning with yourself, your values and morals, I think that it's crazy how some stuff happens.
Yeah, Jeff, can I ask you some questions, man?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What brought you to this? Who was it an idea? Is it something that you saw? Was it, you know, like you woke up one day and it was a dream? Like what? How did this turn
Into this?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wanted to work with young men. I got clean and sober. I'm about 2.5 years clean and sober.
Hey, man, bro.
I used to be, you know, coke and alcohol.
Yeah.
On my last relapse, man, I had a tall boy on Monday. I had a gram and a bottle on Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah.
And then I missed a men's group that I normally go to in the morning, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? So getting back in the church, man, was really powerful for me.
Amen.
Because being able to miss it and then going back the next Saturday, and I'm like, hey, you know, some stuff happened. They're like, you don't even got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Being around, that's why I'm so powerful, man, about circles, because who you are around, man, it dictates who you're going to be and how you view yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and so I got sober. I started going to Toastmasters. It's a public speaking club.
Cool.
For free on a Tuesday,
All
7
right.
p.m. You know, let me know. Y'all let me know. Afterburners. We're the top dogs in District 25. I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
100%, bro. You should see our banner, man. We got ribbons on ribbons.
Yeah.
And you know, you learn how to talk, and being able to learn how to talk and how to improv whenever you're talking. You know, you do these things called table topics, and you have to come up with a 1 to 2 minute story real quick. And you do that, and it gets a lot easier to improv. And so, well, I started doing that, and then I started working out in the gym, and then I started making videos in the corner because I was like, dude, I look like a goofball. I was like, what am I doing? I'm like one of those guys talking to their phone now, right? I'm a dork. And I felt like a dork. And you feel goofy when you're doing a lot of things that you're like, what am I doing? And you go through the goofy phase. And one day, I don't know, man. I don't know how it happened. I was like, I want to do a podcast. So it started off just talking to a buddy of mine in there, holding the phone like this.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay, let me try something else. And then it talked with like just having the phone in there, and then the phone would die. And so kind of it worked its way up to where it is now, where I have, you know, a microphone, you know, instead of 10 minutes, they're like an hour long.
Yeah.
and it grows, you know, like anything else, it compounds.
Yeah.
Right. And like anything else in life, it compounds, man. And it's why the sauna? I think because
First of all, it's unique, bro.
it is unique. It's unique.
It's different as hell, for sure.
And it really, to me, it gives people a chance to be in an environment, man, where it's a lot harder to hide who you are, because as it goes on, as the questions go on, then it's just a lot harder to hide, man, behind that ego.
Yeah.
And I think that it helps, you know, melt it away, and then you start talking, man, and you really start opening it up. And you know, the whole goal is to really get men to be vulnerable and open, not so that they sit here and cry about what's going on in their lives. They're like, man, this is what I've been through, you know, and it struggled, like, you know, and it hurt, but I was able to make it out of it, you know, and I had this dark valley, but I'm coming up on top of a hill now.
Yeah.
And it's really reminiscent, man, of going through spiritual valleys with God and realizing that there's something else on the other side, man, because just like whenever you were, you know, you had that breakup, you were going through a thing where you were like, man, life's never going to get better.
Yeah.
And life got better, man.
Yeah,
and
sure
now,
did,
now,
man.
Now it's hitting a new pinnacle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, when you realize you hit that new pinnacle, you got another one. And so that's kind of, you know, the inception of it and kind of what brought me from there to here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love it, man. Man, and so, you know, I mean, you threw me off topic. I'll be honest. I'm not normally the one who's getting the questions asked. So, so I normally have a question in the chamber, man, but you threw me off on that one.
I hear
so.
you. My fault.
No, it's good, man. It's good. You know, I appreciate that. You know, look, man, it was good having you on, man. I'm excited to see where you go in the future.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Jeff.
You know, I'm excited, man, that you are really looking forward to having a little girl, and that you're really, you know, you're not. It honestly seems like you're coming at it with a very sensible understanding of who you have to be in that situation, the growth that's going to have to happen in that situation, and who you're going to have to become in that situation. So and I think that's powerful.
I appreciate that, man. So, I mean, after the breakup, yeah, I was in a phase, and didn't care who I met, didn't care how it went, you know. But after that phase, I was like, you know what? I want to date. I want a companionship. I want a friendship. I want something I can call mine, you know. So I was dating, and I would date women who had kids, you know. And as a good man, you know, you can't expect not to be a part of the child's life, regardless if the father figure is in their life or not. Like, you know, you got to interact. You know, as a good man, it's just common sense.
Yeah.
So while dating, you know, interacting with kids, I love kids, bro. You know, you like you said, you got to know the audience. You got to know you got to know how to talk to different people. You know, I can't talk to Jeff over here shooting the shit up and then talk to Joe Schmo over here and stuff like that. So,
right.
But just my experience of dealing with kids, helping my siblings raise my beautiful nieces. You know, I have experience, you know, but this is different now. You know, this is every time. All right, back to mommy. You know, all right, back to mommy and daddy. You know, this is no more going back. This is mine.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm involved. I'm gonna be, you know, 10 toes deep. She's gonna know that I will have her back no matter what, man. And I'm just excited. I'm so excited. I just want her to be a daddy's girl, man. I want her to know that you're my princess, you're my queen, and I'll be your knight in shining armor forever. So
yeah, that's dope, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, you know what? I appreciate you coming on here, man. I appreciate you opening up, man. It's hard, and you know, giving people the opportunity to see that everyday individuals go through the same things, man. They struggle, they come out on the other side, man. It's powerful, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you,
Mr. Jeff. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Our next podcast, man, we're going to the gym. I want to work out with this man. I want to see top to bottom his workout regimen, his routine. I might tap out. I'm like, Jeff, all right, tapping out, brother. But thank you again, brother, for inviting me. Thank you for just doing what you're doing with these young men, and just keep going, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, brother.
I'll let y'all.